Game night gone wild. So there we were, gathered around the old oak dining table for what we thought was going to be a regular family game night. My dad had just finished telling his usual jokes about how he was undefeated at Scrabble, conveniently forgetting the time he spelled QZX and tried to convince us it was a type of cheese. We were just about to start a round of Pictionary when Grandma glided into the room with a twinkle in her eye and her trusty cane tapping rhythmically on the floor. "How about we play Extreme Monopoly instead?" she suggested, placing a game box on the table that looked suspiciously like it had been homemade with cardboard, glue, and what appeared to be a Monopoly logo taped on from an old shirt. The rules, Grandma explained, were simple, like regular Monopoly, but with just a couple of tweaks. For example, landing on free parking meant you had to give the person to your left a compliment, and if you rolled doubles, you had to arm wrestle the person to your right. But the real kicker was that each property was linked to a real-life equivalent that Grandma had already bought, like her hairdresser's salon down the street or the local bakery where Dad gets his emergency donuts. She pulled out a deed for each property, which she had laminated and signed, and we all exchanged puzzled looks but decided to humor her. Things were going smoothly, or as smoothly as they could in a game where the banker, Uncle Joe, kept mysteriously running out of $500 bills. Then it happened. My sister landed on Boardwalk, which in Grandma's world meant she had the opportunity to buy the actual hotel that had just opened up downtown. The table erupted into chaos. Dad was shouting about how this wasn't in the spirit of the game, while Uncle Joe tried to bribe Grandma with his last two $500 bills to get her to change the rules. My sister, meanwhile, was on the phone with her bank trying to secure a mortgage. The situation finally reached its peak when Grandma, in a bid to restore order, stood up and banged her cane on the table. "Enough," she declared. "The hotel is mine, and that's final." Everyone froze, and the room fell silent, the only sound being the crinkling of the laminated property deeds. In the calm after the storm, my brother, who had been quietly observing with a bemused expression, leaned back in his chair and said, "Well, at least we know who the real board of directors is."